Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. Thanks for all of the weather report from around the world that we have on our live chat today. I'm coming to live in Whitchurch, as that seems to be the place where the sun is not here. No, I am not forgetting you. How could I forget you all? So good morning, everyone. Good morning, June and Shirley, Jill, Fiona, Heather, Nicola, June, another Jill, Eunice, Janice, Catherine over in Ireland, Teresa, Terry, Rosemary. Oh, all my lovely people. So lovely to have you here. And I couldn't possibly forget any of you. So going a bit different today, and I'm going to be working with one of the new Paper Boutique kits. So Paper Boutique are papers and toppers, and they come as a different selection, and they're often with lots of lovely little animals, woodland animals and things like that. But this one is really different, and so I thought I would have a bit of a play with this. I wanted to show you how I work out some concepts for cards sometimes, and just show you around all this one, and lots of other news to tell you as well. So let's start with today's card, or today's Sunday special. So what I have in front of me here is what is known as the paper kit. So the paper kit comes with, as it says on there, 36 decorative papers, of which there are 6 designs, and 32 die-cut toppers, of which there are 8 designs. So I have the toppers in my hand, first of all. So they come either with squares, and they've even got some little sentiments that you can cut out there. And you've got the circles. Now, the circles don't have the sentiments, but you've got the circles as well. Okay. And with the sentiments on here, these would need to be cut out, but I've noticed that in the embellishment pack, there's quite a lot of different things, like for granddad and grandma, and this one says for a special couple. So they could make into a sort of a more personalised card, shall we say. So that's your toppers that come with this one. And also with the kit comes the decorative papers, 36 sheets, 6 designs. So you've got little gnomes and poinsettias. You've got a lovely striped piece there. Some, poinsettias on their own. Some dots. And a combination there of some of the gnomes with bits and pieces as well, and also another background there with a couple of gnomes in the corner there, and then it repeats. Okay, so there's 36 sheets of that. So that's your paper kit, and that comes like that. But they're also so well designed because you have also got the card collection. So there's 24 A4 sheets in this card collection, all of 8 colours. But what the beauty is that all of the colours are the colours that relate to this pack as well. So that means that you don't even have to think about getting a piece of card. The only pieces of card you need are your blank card, and maybe I've chosen white because obviously that's a background. You don't have to match up any of your colour cards because you have them all here. You have 24 sheets altogether and 8 sheets, 8 colours. So you have got plenty there, and those are the colours there. So as I say, they are all on the same palette. They work out beautifully. So that's your card. It also has in the collection an embellishment pad. And with the embellishment pads, you've got, as I said, some of the lovely sentiments. Mother-in-law, sister-in-law. Fiona, that'd be a good one for you, mother-in-law, seeing how much you love her. And you've also got some more toppers that you can cut out and bits and pieces. I mean, that just makes a card on its own. Any of these just make a card on its own. Lovely selection there. There are 36 sheets and 6 designs. I suppose I better show you them all. So you've got that one. That's 1, 2. Lovely little strips there that go very well. 3, 4, 5, and some, oh, that's 6 because I'd already cut that one out. 6, so different sentiments. And these make lovely decoupage then. So if you fancy having one on the bottom there and then cutting that out, really easy to do a decoupage sheet. So really lovely. And then finally, in the whole thing, you have got the inserts, which I'm going to be using today and showing you, which is an A4 piece of paper this time. And you've got, I've lost the front packet there, so I'm not quite sure. I should imagine that there's 6 designs here. But these can be cut about. They can be the inserts, which I'm going to use them for, or you can make them into cards themselves. They're really lovely. And again, all in the same colour palette that you would be using. So it's really lovely. So loads of different ones there. Okay, so let's go on with showing you how I would make these cards. Now, I think that these cards also lend themselves really well to, if you've got the grandchildren coming to stay for a couple of days or something, you could make some of the Christmas cards. I know it sounds early, but give them something to do. And it's really simple because they just need to push these out and you can show them how to put a card together and they've done their Christmas cards. So, you know, you could be so ahead. You wouldn't believe yourself. So how do I go about starting with a card like that? Well, one of the ways that I like to do is to choose some paper sketches, card sketches. So these I've actually printed off just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And they're from, as it says, paperplay-sketches.blogspot.com. But if you put into Pinterest or anywhere else, card sketches, what the idea is that they will give you, like this, an idea of a card, an idea of a layout. And it only just starts you off. Whether yours looks exactly like that at the end is neither here nor there, but it just gives you an idea of how to start. Now, you will find that as you go through, there will be some that have got a focal point of a circle, which would be ideal if you were going to use the circle toppers, or it's also got the square ones. So again, ideal if you've got that sort of thing as a topper. But it gives you an idea to how to start many things off, and you don't even have to do it as the rectangle that they talk about or that they show. You can also use any shape there that you like. So let me just show you first and foremost. So I picked this one here first of all, and I've made a square card, and I have taken one of the pieces of card at the back, and then I have embossed, I think you can see that, one of the backgrounds with an old embossing folder, which is donkey's years old and I'm afraid is no longer available, just in case anyone asks. But I'm just going along with that sketch there then. So then I've cut popped one of my little toppers out, and the only die I've used has been one of the stitch dot nesting circles. So I've cut him out of the same card that's at the back here and given him center stage. And if you can look at this, you can see, I know that that's half on and half off, but we don't care about that. So that's just on one side. Then I've taken some of the pieces of card and I'm going to put that like they have. So there's one up there and one down there. And then there's another one here, which is underneath and then over. So like that, underneath this one, but over the top of that one. Then this little chap sits right on top. And then I've just trimmed out one of the sentiments. And there we have it. So there is already a really, really quick card. The grandchildren could even achieve this, but without a great deal of supervision. You just need a bit of glue, really. And it doesn't have to be exactly like that. But you could say to anybody, well, take that pattern and sort of replicate it. And as you can see, although that's on a rectangle, it works on a square. It really doesn't have to be any different whatsoever. So yeah, I used to save them all. I did notice when I went to this one, actually, that This, I think, was at least 2017, if not 2015. So it clearly isn't kind of the done thing to have, because years ago, people used to have challenges where they'd make a different sketch every week, and then people would make their cards in whatever style they liked, but along that sketch line, and then put them in for a challenge on blog spots and things. So I don't know. As I say, this is for such a long time ago, but obviously they're all on the internet, and still you can just print them off or, you know, whatever, save them somewhere. Anyway, so that's one little chap. But I'm going to work now with this sketch because I thought we'd go a bit different. So a rectangle sketch, and I'm actually going to do a rectangle for that. So I'm going to take an A5 card. So I've already got my correct shape. So just not to throw you off scene. And then if you look at my sketch, I can see that I've already got, they want me to put some sort of a main layer on, and I'm going to go away from it straight away because I want to put two main bits on. So I think first of all, I want to choose my topper. So I'm going to go for a square one. So I'm going to go, oh, which one do I like best? I think Enjoy the Festive Season. We'll go for him. So I just need to pop him out like that. And he's going to be my bit that goes in the middle here. So he's going to sort of go like that. Okay. Oh, that fits perfectly, doesn't it? I can just leave it like that, really. Now that was by luck rather than judgment. I didn't even realise that it sat in there. So he's going to go on there anyway. So then I need to decide what colours, but because I've got the papers, I really don't have to think. Any colour would go. So if I thought to myself, I'll put the background as the reddy colour, that goes well. Or I might decide to use one of the greys because his hands, hands and feet have got the grey on, which I think I will actually. But I could also go for the green because the word festive, not sure if you can see that very well, whoops. The word festive is actually the same colour as that sheet. So you really have got loads that you could use on there. But I'm going to go for this dark sort of, it hasn't got a name to it, but a dark grey. It is single-sided, so it's white on the other side, but that's fine. So I'm going to just need to trim this down. So I need to just measure my card there just to be sure. So my card is 15 by 21. So I'm going to make my first layer 1 centimetre smaller than that. So I'm going to make this one 14 inches wide, 14 centimetres wide. And then I'm going to take this trimmer and make this to 20 centimetres like that. Okay, so I'm just trimming down that side there. So I've got that one ready. And then I'm going to use another piece of embossed card. So I'm going to trim that down, and now I'm going to have that just 0.5 centimetre smaller. So this one was 14 by, forgotten, 20. Yeah, 14 by 20. So this one is going to be 13.5, just 0.5 centimetre. And I'm going to make that by 19.5. Now, because my pattern didn't come right to the very edge, I just want to trim that so that that's going to be a pattern all the way. So I'm going to take a little slither off both ends to make that so that that fits in correctly. Okay, so that bit is going to go on there. And then I'm going to have another look, and I'm going to decide what else my pattern shows me. So I've got my background, and now it's showing a panel here and a panel there as well. So I will take some of my papers from my embellishment So not from my embellishment, from my decorative papers section, which is in the kits. And let's decide what we're going to use. So that's quite a nice one. I think I'm going to use that one. Whoops. And I'm going to use that. And what should be my other one? Use a contrast there. I think I'll go for my dots. Do dots and stripes go together? Yeah, go on then. Or do we do another one? No, wait a minute. Oh dear, the decisions. We can do dots and stripes together, but let's do stripes and stripes together. Loads of choice, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to do that one. Okay, so pop them to one side again. So when I'm going to do this bit, and having a look at my card again, so I've got one panel that is going to go underneath, and that's going to be that panel there. Okay, so I'm going to cut a slither off there. And then the panel that goes on here, I'm going to be cheeky and I'm just going to cut out a bit with the poinsettias on. I'm not going to use him for another one, but I'm going to use this bit with my poinsettias on just there. Okay, so as for sizes, no, it doesn't show you what size anything is, but that's down to the individual. And if you look, you can see that this outer panel here is matching up to one of these. So it's matching up to here. So I'm just going to measure that again. So there we go, 13.5. So if we do a 13.5 piece from here, hold on a second. And I'm going to make it, that one I'm going to make about 5 centimetres wide. No, I'm not going to make 6 centimetres wide. 6 by 13.5. That's going to go just there. And then I'm going to trim my piece here. So that's going to be 5.5. Just trimming this bit off, and this needs to go just inside. So this is going to be 13. Okay, so that's going to go in there like that. And then I've got this bit here. So this bit is almost the length of my card. So I'm going to take, whoops, another piece of this, the whole length of that. Doesn't matter what length it is. I'm going to make that one just a bit wider. So I'm going to go for 7 centimetres there. Just check what it was across so we know. 16. So this one, 0.5 centimetre less, 6.5 by 15.5. But the measurements that I'm giving you are not measurements, you know, they're just rough ideas. So that's going to go over there, that's going to go there, and then my little chap, he needs a bit of a border around him. So I'm going to choose another bit of my cards and give him a little dark border. So we are nearly there. Measure my little man, who is 8 centimetres by 8 centimetres. So this piece, just a small piece, needs to be 8.5 by 8.5. So just 0.5 centimetre up the whole time. So 0.5 centimetre, 8.5. Okay, so now we just need to stick all our bits and pieces together. So as I said, we've got our card here, so our card base. And we're going to put our first piece on there so that we've got a border all the way around, so that just stays stuck. If you're being particularly frugal, which of course we are all thinking of money these days, you can, which I did with my square one actually, use the center of this card to cut out any of the, like I did the circle one there, and I just actually cut the circle out of this background because I knew that that was going to go over the top and no one would see that it was missing. Obviously I haven't needed to do that for this one, but just as a thing, just so you've got value for money here, you could use that as well. So now I'm going to pop my embossed piece on, leaving with that little white border. Just turn that over, stick that down. So then I'm just going to stick some of these pieces together. It's nice not to have to think about what colour card you might want to use. Because when all the colours are all put there, otherwise you can be sure that the colour card that you pick up will be the one colour that doesn't match and you don't want to use it. Or if you're anything like me, you will. So just putting all the panels together. And as I said, if you'd use one of these sketches, which is kind of like old-fashioned really, but if you use them or find them and you're sitting there and you don't know what card you're going to do and what it's going to look like or anything like that, this really takes all the hard work out because you just follow the pattern. So nothing more difficult than following the pattern. Just pop them in so they've all got a bit of a border. And then we're going to pop that together. So that one's going to go, as it, looking at the pattern again, that one's going to go at the back. This one is going to go over the top. And our little chap is going to go on there as well. Now I could put any embellishments on here at all. Oh, don't want that. We've all got, do you know what? I've got 3 rooms now that are craft. It's a bit much, isn't it? There again, it's still not the equivalent of my staff's garage and things like that. So I think it's only fair, really. But I usually say, well, whatever he spends on football and fishing, I could spend on craft. But unfortunately, things as they are today, with all these blooming viruses and things, he has been fishing, but he hasn't been footballing, obviously. But I haven't paid any attention to that as to whether I can then spend any money. So there we are. Just going to put a little bit of foam on this bit to bring this up. Now on the sketches, if you were following one of those, you haven't got any places for sentiments, or sometimes they do, but the whole idea is that you then, if you want to put a sentiment. With this particular one, I've obviously already got the sentiment on there, but as I said to you, there are lots of different ones that you could choose from, and on this particular one, you've even got like a little Merry Christmas down here that you could just cut out. And as I said, that is in the same, because I've used that pattern paper. I thought that looks quite nice. I'll just trim that off. Could be using the trimmer, but hey ho. And so you can just pop that little sign down there if you want. And then with this one, I'm just going to open it up to put the insert in. So as I said, the inserts can be used for any, I did have one here earlier. Hold on, what have I done with that? The inserts can be used for making up your pattern or whatever. But with this one, if you recall, the pattern that we had here, so this is one of the inserts, the pattern that we had here is also replicated a little bit, and that's the whole idea of all the papers and patterns go together. It's replicated a little bit by this. So they will need trimming down just a little bit. So I'm going to trim about 1 centimetre off the length of it. And depending on what size your finished card is, obviously, you'll need to trim down more than that maybe. Just going to see whether that fits in there. Yeah. And then obviously I need to trim a little slither off of the ends, and I will even it up by trimming a little slither off of both ends. So just about 0.5 centimetre off of one end. And then I'm going to turn that round and trim 0.5 centimetre off of the other side, like so. I'm just going to check that that should fit. So I've got a nice border all the way around for that, but obviously that's not going to stay stuck on there. So I'm going to fold that in half with my pattern inside, like that. It's paper, so it's not a vital setting there. And that is going to go on there. I'm going to take myself some double-sided tape, and I'm going to put that on the edge of my pattern. Now, it varies. When people are doing this, they tend to either put it on one side or the other, or both, but I prefer to put it on the front bit. So I put double-sided tape just on the inside of my insert, and I put my insert in place so that it is on my crease, but it is also the equal border from the top and the bottom, and then with my little bit left over at the side. And then I close my card. So that will then pick up my double-sided tape, and then that will just open up so that you can see it. Some people like to put it on there. You could put it on there as well, but I like it so that when it opens, you can actually see the writing, the sentiment in there. Okay, so as I said, from a simple sketch like this, of which there are loads on the internet, you can just not have to think about it. With all the lovely embellishments, all the cards that go together, all the sentiments that go together, you could make 32 cards sorted. Half of your Christmas done. So, lots for you to think about for today. So, now let me just tell you about what's coming up. We have got, we had some wonderful workshops this week, in the last week, on both on Monday and yesterday, from a super group of people that all, I think, really enjoyed it because it was great fun. And we did all of the woodware stamps and bits and pieces, which you will have might see now onto the page, onto the group page. I have launched today the class for September, and I have launched 2 dates for that. So we have got the Monday afternoon, but we've also got a Thursday evening. I thought we would try an evening one because I know some people are working, and I know some people work shifts and everything, but I thought we'd give a go at an evening one as well. So it also will encourage more people to be able to join maybe. And we've had some new people, which I think really enjoyed it. They must have done because they've booked again, so that's good. Tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock on Hochanda, John will be joining you with the 4 Seasons die set, and also the Finley's Trees. The 4 Seasons one I've worked on quite a lot, and I will be showing you some of those. And excuse me, it's a very unusual concept and so clever. I think you'll agree with some of the designs that you're going to see that it is a very, very versatile die. It certainly is suitable for all 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. And that's on a Wednesday special as from tomorrow, Monday at 6 o'clock on Hochanda. So I will be back on Wednesday with another YouTube live. which will be one of those Four Seasons cards. I will be showing you how to do one of those. So if you don't get round to seeing it before, it will all be here at 11 o'clock on Wednesday this week, which is the 12th of August already. I was going to say, is that something like grouse shooting day, isn't it, or something? Or is that September? Not that I was going to shoot any grouse, but whatever. So there you go. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a very good day. Rest of the weekend. Try and keep cool if that's your problem. It certainly is mine. We do have a little bit of a sea breeze here, so I hope that just blows into a gale very soon. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the demos, and I will see you on Wednesday at 11. Take care. Bye.